Welcome to a moment of intriguing introspection beyond the realms of fear, hesitancy, and doubt. Your deep dive into the questions of the ages, shared with the courage that may challenge perception, yet joyfully teases your conscious awareness to expand into this rare and unique moment. Beyond all sense of dogma, Master Lady Kira Ra calls forward the essence of I am as you are, offering accurate and timely self-ascension revelations with supportive wisdom. This is the moment to remember that peace, love, and joy are your birthright. With a deep exhale and a smile, relax and welcome Master Lady Kira Ra.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome. My heart is thrilled that you are here with me, Master Lady Kira Ra, as together we are expanding consciousness. I want to just take a moment right now and say thank you to those of you that have been tuning into this broadcast since we began it. And to those of you that this is your very first time, welcome and thank you for finding this moment. Because together we are at such an extraordinary expansion of consciousness that there is so much to share. And this show, this very specific show, is also the first time that we are offering at YouTube as well as a video. So if you are catching us as audio only at amfm247.com, and you should go check it out anyway, amfm247.com, please go ahead to my YouTube channel so that you can catch the video that will also have some of the things I'll be talking about. I'm going to do my best to always share to my best level. And when you get a chance, please go to YouTube and check out, and of course, subscribe to Official Shri and Kira. And that's spelled out S-R-I-A-N-D, Kira, K-I-R-A. And so let's bring a hand to our heart, because this is truly a new dawn. This is a moment about chemical transformation. And there is so much happening as we have been weaving through consciousness. And this podcast, this broadcast, this YouTube show is really one that I am personally honored to call forward as a catalog, as a library of information on consciousness, as an opportunity for it to be referred to at any moment in the future. Whether you're catching this live, where you're catching this long after I've transitioned off the planet, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're connecting with that which is here now, that which we have collectively called forward and seeded into this specific potentiality. Should this moment come, should my voice touch your heart right now, should the energy that you are experiencing beyond the words that are being shared relax your heart and soul into the knowing you are not alone. You are not crazy. You are expanding consciousness, and you are part of that which has not ever happened before, as are all. And as the all are coming forward right now, as allness is expanding, the focus tonight, what we're really diving into as we have been traversing the sacred sequence of incarnation, as we have been really gazing at the five medicines, as we have been learning about the ascension experience in this body of form, the intersection of this moment right now, your conscious awareness has called you to tune in right now to this experience of this show, because you are alchemically transforming. And through that alchemical transformation that is happening for all right now is a rising power, empowerment, simultaneously with your own rising threat. And I want you to really breathe that in, because that's tonight's show. It's all about this alchemical transformation as the power/threat of consciousness. It's both. It's both. And I want you to just take a notice right now. How are you breathing after hearing that? Just as we're moving into everything. And I'm inviting you once again, if you're in your car driving, if you're listening to us on an AM or FM station in the United States, thank you. And I'll make sure that we stay car friendly. I am more mindful of that. And as you are right now, giving yourself a moment to breathe, why don't we all bring our hands to our heart? And as my most beloved wisdom teacher, Sri Ram Ka, my ascended master, who I bow before and I'm so honored, is now serving us all. With your hands on your heart, really feeling the depth of sincerity, of love, and of presence. Taking in a deep conscious breath through the nose first. And really feeling in this moment, I trust myself. Breathe that in again. Let's do a deep Ave Sa breath, breathing in that energy of the Ave through the nose and then exhaling the infinite presence of the Sa, right? Ave. There it is. And feel that. Let's do that one more time because you always want to complete that with a smile. Because when we complete our breath with a smile, we send a signal to our body that I am here, that your divine mastery presence is guiding. Thereby, you can relax. The mind can relax in the trust of you. And this is part of that alchemical transformation, inviting the mind to relax into the trust of you. And we have a lot to share about that and dive through tonight. So let's take in one more breath, ending with a smile, hands on your heart, really knowing in this moment, I trust myself, and feeling the joy of that. Beyond any sense of fear or doubt or hesitancy, which is nothing more than the cycles of self-sabotage. So let's take a minute and pause on that. Let's take a moment and really go into what is this cycle of self-sabotage and why is it so important to let it go? Well, the first thing is to remember that how many of you have ever heard about the free will zone? That we live in this free will zone, that there, we're in this free will zone, you can't be interfered with. Well, we are in a free will zone. And because of that energy, the only way that you can be sincerely interfered with is by inviting that energy in. Now, once that energy gets in, it's very much just like any other type of a little bug or a virus or whatever it is. Once it's in, it's going to be like, oh, I'm in. Let me go play. Let me go do my own thing. And this is what that self-sabotage is like, because the self-sabotage seeds, and there's 3 seeds to self-sabotage. The first seed is the planetary thought body itself. It's fear. It's that belief in the consensus reality. It's that belief that you are limited. It's that constraining energy. Go read the book, Ascension Renaissance by Sri and I. Go to Kindle. Go grab it. Go get the paperback at Amazon, right? So to know that you are not the body is the first way that you can free yourself from the planetary thought body of fear. Because remember, all fear at the end of the day is rooted in the fear of death. And once you transcend that, everything else becomes easier. But you cannot transcend that if you're stuck in self-sabotage, right? So it begins with the seed of fear. Well, then what's the next one? Well, because you're in fear, you breed hesitancy. Hesitancy comes from not trusting yourself. It's the opposite of in this moment, I trust myself. It's the exact polar opposite that's saying in this moment, I don't trust myself. That's why you're hesitating. And that hesitancy comes from the experience or the alignment or the belief system in fear. So you have fear, you have hesitancy, and then add a heap and help and a doubt, because that's what hesitancy does. When you have fear and you have hesitancy, doubt becomes your norm. So when you're living in doubt, remember what we talked about this, when people are in fear, when your fear is huge, when you're really, really afraid, is when you give away your power. And that's really, really only the first step, because if you stay in the energy of this loop, of this really self-sabotage loop, if you stay in that energy long enough, you'll no longer be afraid. You'll move into being terrified, where you are almost paralyzed, where you are so self-doubting, where you are so not sure, where you're listening to so many things that your mind becomes so cluttered. In that moment, that is the objective, because when you are terrified, that's when you give away your soul. That's when consciousness itself goes to the bottom of the pile in lieu of the illusionary experience of the fear, hesitancy, and doubt, in favor of that which tries to constrain you. So imagine for a moment being free from that, because you absolutely are capable of being free from that. That's why the language codes are here again. This is why we're in this time out of time sequence. That's why you found this moment, because you are free to be. Let's bring our hands to our heart and breathe into that. When we transcend our self-sabotage cycle, there is no longer anything that can steal away your power or your freedom. You cannot be interfered with when that which is within you has been activated through remembrance itself. Not an external source telling you what to believe. You remembering how to know what's inside of you without doubting it. That's the gift of the yoga of self-ascension. The yoga of self-ascension is simply an invitation for you to remember, for you to self-ascend. And really feel that. I'm smiling as I share that with you because I remember so many years ago, Sri Ramka would share with me, and it was one of his favorite recollections of Archangel Zadkiel in the early days when we were still living in Colorado. And it was so funny because Sri asked Archangel Zadkiel about ascension. And Archangel Zadkiel just laughed and laughed and laughed and said, Sri Ramka, we find this so funny because how are you ascending back into that which you already are? It's the journey of the remembrance while in this body of form. That is the ultimate ascension. It is the self-ascension through your own remembrance. Because when you remember, when what is affirmed is the opportunity to know yourself beyond fear, doubt, and hesitancy, when that is affirmed within you, imagine the power. And this is, I want you to just breathe that in for a moment because I want to take a diversion here for a minute because as I mentioned earlier, tonight, what are we talking about? We're diving into this alchemical transformation. I'm going to show you how that's really happening. But right with that is this power/threat of consciousness. Remember, consciousness is the cog in the middle of the wheel of the five medicines. Consciousness is where we're able to stand in the sea of neutrality. Consciousness is where we're able to lift free from that which is attached to safety, sex, and power, or the lower three chakras out of balance in this world of form, right? Which is what keeps us stuck in body awareness. And instead, transcend through it while sustaining conscious awareness. And that's the key. That's the magic right there. Are you able to sustain conscious awareness? That's where the five medicines come in. That's where the cycles of self-sabotage come in. That's where we have chose to incarnate into this extraordinary, I can't even say it again. It's like, I want to say it again. Extraordinary experience of the word time. It's almost challenging for me to offer you that word because once you unlock all your language sequencings and your codes, you'll have a greater depth of understanding why I'm sharing that with you right now and the smile that comes with it. So as we have collectively called forward this potentiality, this very specific potentiality, which the only way I can describe it is like an anomaly sitting in the middle of a field of eternity going, oh, what's going on? Oh, that's different. That's new, right? Oh, let's go check that out. The way I like to describe it is, imagine a breath ago, we were all having the most wondrous dinner party and dancing and having fun. And we all looked at each other and said, hey, why don't we go do Earth in that potentiality? And I can assure you in a moment from now, we're going to be at the after party talking about this. That's this moment. That's the time out of time sequencing that we're in right now. And it's here. And I want you to listen because I'm offering you some of the languaging codes. And you need to be there May 14. Get there, register for the language codes, be there. So as we have been in a time out of time sequence, I want you to expand and go beyond where the mind, that 6 o'clock position, may want to take you initially. And instead to recognize that time out of time is the opportunity to unwind that which has actually kept you stuck in the loop of a planetary experience where the planetary thought body, the collective thoughts, when you incarnate into this extraordinary experience and this potentiality, you are coming into a planetary thought body that is literally based upon fear. Now you might say, why? Well, first and foremost, because it's unique to this potentiality. So, of course, the eternal 0 point generator that you are, the eternally neutral experience of presence itself through that pure molecule of love, is eating this up. So, when you come into a planetary thought body of fear, when you are organized around that, and especially the greatest fear of all, the fear of death, when you are afraid of death, you are then a slave. You are attached. You are stuck and forever unable to break free from all of the paradigms that support being afraid of death. Because through being afraid of death, through the fear of death, through the belief that you are not capable of understanding your own eternal nature and that you must have others tell you about it, through all of that, we have arrived at a moment where when this experience of humanity is afraid, the first thing you give away is your power. And if your consciousness is your power, then when you have given away your power, you have also given away the authority of your consciousness itself. And I want you to really feel that. Your consciousness, your conscious awareness is the most precious jewel. It is the only ammunition against illusion. That's it. And that's why everything will be set up to stop it. That's why all of the boundaries are put up. That's why all of that energy comes in, because it's trying to stop you from the ultimate remembrance, the remembrance of your eternal nature. And I want you to breathe that in, because imagine that you are in the remembrance of your eternal nature right now, that you are spiraling through an experience where we are in a time out of time moment. Because right now, if you're catching this in the month of May, on Tuesday, May 7, on the premiere day of this broadcast, we enter the new moon that will carry us through until the 13th. And the profound energy of that 13 in the harmony of this new moon that will then begin waxing immediately as we are in this void, time out of time, is that we will begin coming into right now the fullness of our alchemical transformation. We are free in this moment and this experience. You are free right now to imagine yourself outside of time. Imagine yourself really honest to God, trusting yourself, hand to heart. In this moment, I trust myself. Imagine you right now resequencing the way that you even speak, the way that you are listening, the way that you are receiving information to actually unlock the codes that have always been there. Because that's what this moment is providing us. And on Monday, the 13th, we will gather at Monday Mastery, and we are going to dive into a journey that will unlock consciousness itself through the stabilization of our alchemical transformation and the movement forward. The rebirth has happened. The birth has happened. We are now in active presence. And then on Tuesday, the 14th, mark your calendar, be there if you can, or at least register to get the video. I have the honor of shepherding all of you that are ready to learn the language sequencing, to begin to unravel for yourself, to understand the effect of that central core of consciousness and how profoundly powerful it is. And that's why these codes are being released now. That's why, and they're not my codes, they're the codes of the sequencing that we collectively placed into this field of potentiality should the rapid technological rise that seeks to stop the you from remembering takes hold evermore. You can go beyond the AI. You can go beyond the illusion. You can actually hit where the self-trust is the guidance. And this is important. You are more than you give yourself credit for, or more than you may even already imagine. So why not imagine your own alchemical transformation through the 4 steps of self-ascension as the medicines themselves, with a central core of conscious awareness holding that together. You become the active presence of all that you are. In one moment, the power of activating the law of instantaneous manifestation, while simultaneously becoming a threat to that which would seek to stop it. And that threat exists within thyself as much as it does try to exist externally. So what's the secret to neutralizing the threat? Allowing yourself to stay in the field of your divine mastery presence, of the ascended beingness in full conscious awareness in this body of form, able to reshape the body, continually restore the body, renew the body. I'm not saying you're not going to take a hit, but I will say that you will know how to go through it, and you will know how to regenerate, restore, and move forward again. You are at the moment where if you have ever dreamed it, it's because you've already done it. Don't let go of it. Call it in. The potentialities are so close right now, but all of the fields of awareness are right here, right now, and that's why you're here right now. You owe it to yourself to know more. Join us Monday night at Monday Mastery. Take the journey with us. Discover what that alchemical transformation looks like. And then, please, be there Tuesday, May 14, as we begin to call forward the decoding sequences that you already have so that you can remember yourself, trust yourself, know yourself outside of all dogma, all illusion, all the polarity that would seek to stop you. Deep within that, outside of the anger and the grief, whatever else, deep in there is a 0-point energy generator capable of calling forward the law of instantaneous manifestation. But the catch is sincerity, love, presence, and the remembrance. Because when you remember, it can never be taken from you. As the beloved Gandhi said so many times, they can break my body, they can take my bones, but they will never take me. Ever. I agree. I love you so much. And I invite you to please visit shriandkira.com. Get on our newsletter list for sure, so that you're up to date with all of what's happening. There's so much happening, so I'm putting it out in the emails. Make sure you go to amfm247.com and check out all the past archives of my show, Expanding Consciousness. And please be there for Monday Mastery. You'll see it right on the homepage. You can register right there, and be there for Unlocking the Codes. For the language code of the Ascended Realms is ready. It is the key to embodying you, your eternal nature. And with all my heart, the moment for you to remember is right now. Right now. Because you are the miracle, and you are ready to create miracles again. I bow before you. I honor you. And I love you so dearly. I look forward to being with you really soon if you're catching this live. And if you're catching this in rebroadcast, know that we have always time sealed in the energy, the love, and the presence so that your highest is served at any and all times. Together we are better, birthing a new world. I am emergence, as are you. Many blessings, angels, and namaste.
Bringing a hand to your heart with a smile, soar into the gift of you and discover the yoga of self-ascension at shriandkira.com. Wisdom and clarity are your birthright. shriandkira.com and YouTube official Shri and Kira are waiting for you to enjoy.